You beautiful boy. Yes, you are. Come on then. Go on then. Go on then. Beautiful day, guys. Little breeze. How are we doing? The prisoner who terrorised me the most. Terrorised. Made me fearful of him. Got under my skin, whatever you want to say, whatever you want to call it. You know, he made it a very uncomfortable time. When I was in the segregation unit in the private sector, very, very uncomfortable. He was a Scouse lad. He's settled down now. No need for his name. But I'll tell you, when we got him, he came from Strangeways, funnily enough. They didn't want him, was causing problems there. So we got him at Forest Bank. We didn't have a say in the matter. Usually, prisoners don't move block to block unless it's on a lay down, which means they're giving a prisoner rest or something similar, or a 1-for-1. This guy, no such thing. We're going to sit down over here, kid. Come on in. This guy, no such thing. He'd cause them problems. We were told we were getting him. That's what used to happen then in the private sector. Stevie? Stevie? Come and lie down, laddo. I think the reason he got to me and a lot of other people, because it weren't just me, it's, you know, the level of criminality they've been at, their reputation and the like. Being a Yorkshire lad, I weren't familiar with anybody from Manchester or Liverpool, which was probably a good thing at the time. If we'd have had a prison in Sheffield, I've always said that'd have been very difficult to work in, because I know lots of people there. However, I didn't know this lad. People did within the prison. They were fearful of him. 3 staff who I worked with went sick. Work-related stress down to him. He could play mind games. He was intimidating, threatening, all of them things. In the morning, quite often did the early start on the segregation unit, so you're there to get the night man off. Whoever's been on nights, you come on, take them off. I can't remember whether it was half an hour before the rest of the staff start. So, you know, any cell bells, any act documents, things like that you'd attend to. As soon as I come on, you would walk off the main street. So the main street, literally, it was a walkway that had everything off it: reception, gym, segregation, healthcare, chapel, workshops. Outer door, 2 wooden doors, you would open them with a key. There was a lock gate inside. I'd open the lock gate. As soon as I unlocked that gate, Samworth, get to my cell, his buzzer went on. No visible means of seeing who was entering the seg. You know, I've done it with other people. I come on one morning with somebody else, says you go in, they went in, nothing. I went in, Samworth, get to my cell. No mirror out the door or anything like that that prisoners can do. He was intimidating, no doubt about it. When he first come down, he had a cell overlooking the 5-a-side football pitch, all-weather pitch. We had to move him. The gym screws refused to take people out because he would shout at them. A couple of the gym screws knew him. One of them, who I would later find out, he didn't like, he knew him. He was a bad bully. This guy didn't like bullies. The gym screw in question was from the St. Helens area. He was a bully, no questions about it. Everyone's friend when it comes down to it, but I know plenty of lads who've felt his wrath. You know, when he's in the gym, everyone talks about him. Yeah. Covertly away from that bad bully. Like I said, I know plenty of lads who've got stories about him. Anyway, we're not going to get away from that. He refused to go out on the yard, so we had to move him. He started a dirty protest, which is, you know, using your own excrement. He got 6 other lads, young lads, easily influenced, on a dirty protest. I talked about that. It was horrendous. Every time he came out of his cell, really threatening and intimidating. You know, your arse cheeks would be pushed together, no questions. I was fearful of him. He probably knew that. You know, he made it worse. He would get in your face. I remember him being on the phone once. We got a senior officer stood there, 2 other staff. He was on a unlock protocol, SO and 2, so he could only come out on his own when there was 2 and an SO. He got on the phone. He says, I've got this officer here called Mr. Samworth. Can't be many Samworths. Want you to find him, and I want him doing in. Yeah, I'd done nothing to this guy, nothing at all. I looked at the SO, said to the SO, you're going to let him talk like that? And he just said he's entitled to a phone call. He had nothing to say. In fact, the SO went in the office and left me and him sort of stood toe to toe. I said toe to toe, loosely speaking. There's no way I wanted to get into it with him, honestly. He was proper intimidating. Anyway, it carried on. Nobody wanted to deal with him. These sort of people, there's nothing, the prison system, nothing we could do, you know, put them on punishment. No TVs down the block at that time, I don't believe. There was nothing we could do, you know. He was in a cell, pretty much nothing, didn't want nothing, just terrorising people. Anyway, it all built up, came to a head. He was on a legal visit one day, so because he was on an unlock, we had to go to the legal visit with him. He was in with a lass. I don't know whether she was a barrister, solicitor, a legal, I'm not quite sure what she was. I was outside, he stood up, ripped his shirt off. He says, look at that screw, trying to intimidate me. When he came out, we started walking him back to his cell and it kicked off and he was restrained. Taken back to the segregation unit under restraint and put in the special cell. I dreaded the next day. I was part of that restraint. Over the next week, cell bell, Samworth, cell bell, Samworth sort of thing, yeah. Eventually, we ended up talking on a proper level. No more threats. I wouldn't say we got on, but certainly, you know, I sorted him a few problems out and it was very civil. We got him to a point where he was ready to go to a normal location, leave the segregation unit and go to the wing. We even got him a job on E-wing. E-wing was the cleanest wing then. It was the induction wing. He got a job on there. He was cleaning and that, and all settled for a short period of time. For me, he got stitched up. And he ended up coming back down the block. When he came down, Oscar 1 and about 10 troops marched him onto the segregation officer. I was on shift. My job is to go in the cell and strip search him. I went in the cell. The Oscar 1 is trying to do the strip search in a civil manner. He just got completely bollock naked, threw his clothes at the Oscar 1. Talking to me while he was, "You all right, Mr. Samworth? I ain't got a problem with you, Mr. Samworth. It's these idiots." They all got off. And he was no problem. All fine and dandy. Like I say, we got on after that. There was another lad come down there, an old time con. So he was telling me about this lad, the Scouser. He said he's a proper handy lad, Mr. Samworth. In his time, you know, he would have it with anyone. He bore the scars, he got machete scars. He had a really, really bad shotgun. I can't say it, a scar. He'd obviously had constructive surgery. It was a mess. And he said, Mr. Samworth, you want to ask him about Paul Sykes. So Paul Sykes, if you haven't heard of him, you're not from this country, you can Google him. He was a lad who, you know, Wakefield lad, where I'm from, boxer and the like. Like I say, if I can find an article pinned comment, I'll put a pinned comment so you can read. So I asked him. I said, what's this about Armley Jail and Paul Sykes? He said, who's told you about that? I said, it don't matter. He said, did it happen? He said, yeah, it did, Mr. Samworth. He's a bad bully. Paul Sykes. He was causing problems in Armley. He was causing problems with me. The screws let us get it on and we had it. And did you beat him? He says, yeah, I beat him. there you go. But eventually, you know, decency, speaking to people and treating people in a proper manner, I wouldn't say won him round, but we did get on. Stevie, fetch your ball. Hello. Parting shot as always. Stevie. Oh, he's found a friend. Anyway, guys, summer's coming. Hoping you're all having the best day possible. Al City.